Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I was thinking about actually like breaking a bit these whole readings for the Aquarius idols that their birthdays are coming up really soon. And I wanted to do this reading, this dynamic bond sort of reading about this couple that was a couple, a confirmed couple of two K-pop idols. Um, and this was actually requested by someone that had watched my previous reading about Jenny and Kai's relationship, how they felt for each other back then, and what's the status of the relationship right now. Even though there's no relationship, like I'm not assuming that I know if there is or there isn't, but that's just what I got energetically. So I think that in this case it would be interesting to dedicate this reading, this same format, for girls generation Taeyeon. I believe she's the leader, or she was the leader, or she is. I don't know much about second generation K-pop, so I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. And then for EXO Baekhyun, so of course I want to make the clarification. Just starting, this is not to ship them, nor to fit into some people's delusional fantasies. Like, here I'm going to use the tarot the best way I can in my capability to read for their bond energetically. Here we are not assuming nor confirming anything. So if this reading resonates with you because you are a fan of them and you really support them, I think this would be a really nice experience for you. And if you do not support this, or if you do not like any of the people involved, just click away. Like, here we don't engage into negativity. Here we consume what makes us feel comfortable. I don't want my tarot readings to be a source of stress or distress. So of course this is only a tarot reading, so take it for what it is. So let's talk a bit about their energy. I believe Taeyeon is Pisces sun. She is a Pisces with the moon in Aries, and Baekhyun is a Taurus with a moon in Gemini. So yes, very interesting. Definitely, I can sense. Just I don't know much about her, but just thinking about her energy, what comes into my mind is this sort of very strong energy, in the sense that I think that she can be a Pisces in the sense that she is very artistic and that she is very feminine. She does give me this very dreamy vibe, but she's someone that she goes after what she wants. She's not a vulnerable Pisces. She's not, even though I think that her Venus is also in Pisces, but she's not a fool. She's no one's fool. This is what I want, and I don't know why I felt the need to clarify this, but I think that what I'm saying here is that there's no victim mentality in her. Everything that she had been gone through is an experience for her, and she has no regrets. So I don't know why I had the necessity to clarify this, but it's just what came to my mind right now. So I placed Baekhyun on the left and Taeyong on the right. So let's see what Baekhyun got. Baekhyun got the card of the Queen of Cups, the Nine of Cups in reversed, and the Ace of Wands in reversed. So definitely here, just from starting from the beginning, he's definitely showing me how he felt or how he viewed her. I think definitely he saw her like a queen, like a kind of inspiration, like this queen, this sort of loyal, royal, not loyal, royal. Um, he definitely was very impressed by her sensitivity, by her. I think she's very motherly. She's very nurturing. There's something about that he definitely felt very attracted to her energy. Um, there's also this sense of comfort and like that you can trust her, that she definitely is going to guide you or advise you, or I think definitely they started the relationship like through advices. I don't know if maybe he had some conversations at the beginning, started talking to her about asking her for advice about something, about life, about being in the industry, about pressure, about feelings. So I think that she was this sort of source of emotional ability, like he was able to connect with his emotions by talking to her, because I think that one thing we can say about Baekhyun is that he is a Taurus, but he's also a Moon in Gemini. And definitely, I don't know much about Baekhyun because I'm not an exalt, but I think I can see his Moon in Gemini traits more than his Taurus traits, actually. Because he seems like to be very communicative, like very energetic, and like he's always trying to keep the energy up, in the sense that probably he likes to make jokes, he likes to laugh, and when he laughs he's really loud. um he likes to play around, it seems like he cannot sit still, like there's something about, and I think that he's also someone that needs to, because a moon in Gemini always needs to communicate. This is their emotional ability. When they want to form an emotional connection with you, they want to talk. So I think that probably when they started, that he had the opportunity to talk to her about how he felt. So this was great for him. This was like he was in awe of her. Definitely she's, of course, that there's no need to say that she is a beautiful woman. But I think that what attracted him the most is that she seemed definitely like a queen, in the sense that she seemed to be more experienced than him, at least from his perspective. He saw her like this sort of celebrity. I don't know how to describe this, but he was definitely very like shocked by her beauty, by her wise, by her wisdom. She definitely makes a strong impact in you. And I think that he also admired very much that she seemed to be in control of everything. Like she always has an answer for everything. So, that's very attractive for Baekhyun. And I don't know what is it about Baekhyun, but I can feel that he tends to feel attracted to female like this, to very strong females, probably older females than him, someone that make him feel protected. So I don't know if he has like mommy issues or something like that, but he does want to have a sort of, he gravitates toward this sort of very nurturing partner, like he wants someone to take care of him, because I feel like he wants to be feel taken care of. He wants to feel like a child when he's in a relationship, and he is a bit childish, to be honest, because here with the nine of cups in reverse, definitely I think that one of the reasons why maybe the relationship got a bit complicated, at least from his perspective, because I think that there's something about Baekhyun's side that I think that he had been doing a lot of awareness about why the relationship ended. Of course, according to my perspective or my intuition, I can see that there were a lot of external influences that could have led to this. But at the same time, I think that what he's showing me here is that he wasn't mature enough to to stay on her level, in the sense that he saw her like a queen, but he thought that he wasn't mature enough to be deserving of her. So I don't know what he means by this, but here with the nine of cups in reverse, definitely I think what he's telling me is that he started feeling really, at the beginning everything was great, and then all of a sudden he started to feel like he couldn't get what he wanted. I think that there's something about Baekhyun that I think that he wants novelty in relationships, and at the same time he's someone that he's very playful. He's, like I mentioned, when I say that I think that his energy is very childish, I don't mean it to disrespect him. I think that it's an awesome attribute to be connected to your inner child. But I think that when it comes to relationships, there was something about him seeing her like this source of power and inspiration, and him feeling like he was beneath her. Like he felt like she, at the end, she was like, probably like that she wouldn't let him get away with things. I think that he is someone that he's very mischievous, that, and somehow she wanted to control him, or she probably, I don't know, maybe he wanted to make a joke to her, and she wouldn't get it, or she would get upset, because probably she wanted him to be more grounded or more mature, especially if it had to do with them arguing about something or making a decision. But I think that also it is a lot of factors. I think that it has to do also with, there's a sense of her feeling very emotional, exhausted at the same time. I think that probably one of the reasons why she got very upset is because she felt like she was out of control because of a lot of opinions and things that she heard about her, about opinions and people criticizing her. So I think that she got to the point where she was very upset at him, and being passive aggressive. So this is why he saw like, oh, this ideal female that she was represented by this queen eventually turned out to be this sort of nightmare to him, because it seems like she would always like be upset or be angry at him, so he felt like he couldn't do anything right, so it definitely damaged his self-esteem and also his masculinity, because we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So definitely he felt like he wasn't man enough to be with her, because he felt a bit like overwhelmed by her being very demanding. And of course, I want you to take into consideration that she also has a moon in Aries, so probably she is very combative or very fiery or very passionate when she argues, a bit straightforward, and she can get upset, and she can be pretty blunt easily. So probably him being a bit more sensitive or being a bit more impressionable. Probably he got a bit like hurt in his pride, like, why are you telling me this, or why are you upset with me, like like, I don't know how to be this man that you want me to be, because it seems that she was this, there was a power balance here, like it seems like in his eyes she was the powerful one and he was like this sort of follower, I don't know. And the beginning it felt really nice, it felt like they clicked together, like as if they were compatible. But then at the end it it had a different effect on him, where he got tired of arguing, and probably, I think that probably, I don't know why, but I sense that here with the Ace of Wands in reverse, I think that he probably didn't make the decision to break up. I think that probably he waited passively to for her to make up or to make the decision, because I see him, like stubbornly, like being in silent and being upset and frustrated because things weren't working out, but him not doing anything about it. So I think that it also like made him feel frustrated because he also had a lot of things to say to her, and I think that he just didn't want to disrespect her, but I think that she was as upset, he was upset, they were both not satisfied, I think that they started the relationship with high expectations and with a lot of chemistry, with a lot of admiration for each other. But then, when you start like getting to know each other, you start to see each other's weaknesses or each other's real side, I don't know, and maybe they weren't as compatible as they thought, so I definitely sense that he felt a bit like he wasn't good enough for her, like he felt like he was like he no matter what he did, there was something, he would always say the wrong thing, or do the wrong thing, and and herself being upset, and and then we will now we will move on to her side to see her point of view over what happened. And we have the Ten of Wands in reversed, we have the Nine of Swords in reversed, and we have the Page of Swords. I'm sorry. So definitely this is a female that carries with a lot of weight on her shoulders. She is someone that she's showing me here that she's someone that she had always carried the responsibility on her shoulders, and that she had always tried to maintain a certain sense of stability, and she had always tried to remain strong and stable. And I think that what happened to her is that this relationship started, it's like it started very well, because actually she felt relieved when she was with him, when she started to meet him or talking to him. She felt at ease when she was with him, probably talking. She felt like, oh, finally I have someone that listens to me and I listen to him, and we we are there for each other. He gets me, he's very loving. But then I think that the relationship turned out to be another weight on her shoulder. And this is why I don't think, from her point of view, I don't think that it wasn't that she didn't care for the relationship. It was that there was so much pressure on her because of this relationship. So, I think that this is actually very pretty common, actually, in these very exposed relationships. For example, it happens at work when two people that work together start like having a relationship or start seeing each other, that everything is great, but then when they break up, everyone starts talking bad about the female part of the relationship, like. So I think that she felt that her relationship with him at first was like a breath of fresh air, like an opportunity for her to actually let go of responsibilities and allow herself to connect with the spontaneity and with love and with desire and with her feeling free. And then all of a sudden, as time progressed, she began feeling anxious about the relationship as well, as if the relationship turned out to be another job or something like that. And then with the Page of Swords definitely showing me here that she she felt like she had to defend herself all the time. So I don't know if maybe she was attacked for dating him. Like I sense her like, and I think that if she was a bit like being aggressive when she talked to him or when she answered to him or when she approached him, it's because she felt powerless. She felt like she had to defend the relationship. She felt like she had to defend herself, she had to defend her work. Like she felt like this relationship was definitely been damaging for her. So yes, maybe she was being a bit like, I wouldn't say that she was exaggerating, but I think that she was like seeing it from her perspective, like, oh, like this relationship is causing me a lot of anxiety because of what people say. But actually, she didn't see that actually he was affected as well. Um, but I feel like in the case of Taeyeon, at least from what I can see here, it seems that for her, because of all the responsibility that she does have in her professional life, I think that for her to relax in relationships sometimes it's not easy. And definitely I can sense her, like being a very, also she has like a strong temper. I don't think it's easy to be in a relationship with her, honestly, because I sense her like being very blunt and honest and a bit masculine, to be honest, a bit like, I wouldn't say bossy, but she stands her ground, so she's definitely not sweet and delicate like people picture her. She definitely is very challenging when she's in a relationship, and especially when she feels like she has to defend the relationship. It seems like she is ready to fight someone, and she gets really in a bad mood. So I think that for her to find an ideal someone that can, because I think that she's also very intimidating, because she has a way of doing things. It seems like she wants to rule the relationship, or that somehow she is perceived by the opposite sex as someone that is very intimidating, that you have to be perfect to date her, or you have to be, I don't know, that you have to be a very, you have to have self-esteem, you have um, to be a good man, you have to have your strong values, and I think that actually what actually conquered her, or what she felt attracted the most about Baekhyun, is that actually Baekhyun, yes, he did admire her, but at the same time he was, like I mentioned, he has this sort of playful and energy, this sort of very joker, this sort of like very laid back energy. So I think that this was the reason why she let her guard down a bit and allow herself to feel. But then at the end she was like on the defensive again, because we end her part of the reading with the Page of Swords. So she started to get really upset, uh, because of of what people said about her. I think that she is very protective of the people that she loves. And I think that there were people that were like talking bad about her and the people that she loved. So she got into this warrior mode, and she was so focused into defending the relationship that she lost a bit of enjoying the relationship, because she was so tense and so nervous that she couldn't enjoy being with him. And I think that this is why he was on this sort of body language of, okay, I'm not going to resist or oppose what you have to say because you will get even angrier at me and I don't want to, so I'm just going to sit here and wait for you to calm down, something like that. And at the same time, I think that she was even more infuriated because he was so laid back, like, oh, why am I the only one that is upset? It's because I'm the only one that cares about this, so she definitely has to work a lot with. I think this is not just about her former relationship with him. I think that it's also a learning, or like a kind of learning experience for her in the future, if she wants to or if she is in a new relationship. I think that she needs to let go of control, because I think that um, she has this sort of bossy attitude in every aspect of her life, so probably she must have her reasons to be so much on the defensive. Probably, things hasn't been easy for her, so this is why she gets on this sort of energy, um probably she had dealt in her life with a lot of toxicity, with a lot of toxic people, with a lot of betrayers, with a lot of liars, and I think that she just wants to she's ready to cut some heads off, and I think that in her relationship, I think that at the end she was so immersed into fighting people or defending herself from this ghost, because I don't think that these people actually were in on her face, telling her or being like, oh, we don't agree with this. I think that there were people that probably would message her or would leave her message, and they were anonymous, so they definitely mess up with her mind, and this is why she felt so much out of control at the end, and it was very, very stressful, you know um because here, like the part of the reading that is like the overall energy, we have the Seven of Swords, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and the Eight of Cups. So definitely the only way to actually recover a bit of sanity and a bit of well-being was to walk away from the relationship. I think that they actually like they tried to measure the pros and cons of dating each other, and they were like, okay, we are losing so much. Like, I don't think this is the right timing. I don't think it's doing us or the people around us any good. We are not happy. We are upset. We are hurt. So we need to walk away from this. And I think that this is something that and honestly, to be honest, I think that they definitely care for each other still. They definitely have like I think that probably people are like, oh, but they look awkward next to each other, or they didn't greet each other or something like that. People I know people do find these kinds of videos, and they do a lot of, they try to read their body language, or whatever they do on a video, and actually that's very creepy because you don't know the circumstances of that moment that they're filming. But to be honest, I think that they left the relationship in good terms. But I'm not going to say that it wasn't painful, because actually it was painful. But I think that it was very, they were very mindful when they did it, because they needed to gain a bit of peace of mind, and actually I think that, yes, I think that these people, these fans, or these people that were against the relationship, that they stole these idols the opportunity to be happy, or to kept going with the relationship. Yes, I think that the opportunity was stolen for them. But um, I don't think they're I think that each of them were very affected in different aspects, because I actually see him like being a bit more on the silent kind of person, like he probably was a bit in denial for a while. I see her like more action orientated, like she wouldn't have a problem with talking to him or talking about him. Like, I think that she's very upfront actually. But in his case, I see him like being a bit more on the reserve side, like, oh, I don't, this is awkward, I don't want to see her, like, like, because I think that he was a bit heartbroken actually. um and in her case, she was much more like, I wouldn't say she was more cold, but she was more like aware of, okay, I know what I'm doing this. I know I'm making my mind, and I know the consequences of what I'm doing. And in his case, he was like frozen, like, um definitely, I think that they left the relationship. I don't think that they are dating in secret. There are people that sometimes, when these couples break up in this short period of time of them announcing the relationship, like, there are a lot of people that are like, oh, maybe they said that they broke up just so the fans would stop harassing them. And I honestly, it could be a possibility for some couples, but honestly, um, the fans would know. The fans would find out if they were still a couple, or if they were still together. Because I don't know what's going on with SM, but definitely I have the weird idea that SM gives them free pass to these crazy fans to get close to these poor artists. Because then it doesn't make sense how they can get so much information, or how they can get so close to these people. Um, so I honestly think that they did it because they wanted to preserve themselves. They wanted to be safe. So I don't know if maybe they got death threats or something like that. But I think that there was a sense of, I want this to be over, because I'm tired of feeling like I owe someone something. Like, I cannot be happy because I feel like I'm disappointed someone. So this is why they left. And definitely with the Eight of Cups, the last card, the Eight of Cups, it's the Eight of Cups definitely is a card that shows the action and the feeling of you emotionally walking away from something. So they definitely emotionally moved on from each other and from what they had. This doesn't mean that they cannot have a good relationship nowadays. Of course they can. But I think that they did it because they wanted they wanted to connect with feeling safe again. I think that there were a lot of danger around them, and they felt so unprotected. And they, at the end, they started like blaming each other. Like, oh, this is happening because you this, and because you this. So when the relationship starts like this, and you are just like, I don't know how long they dated, but if they did it, for example, for a year or two, if in the first year or first 2 years of relationship you start arguing, like, like, I don't know what to tell you for the next years of relationship that you have. So it's not easy. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. But well, this is all I have for them. This is what I see. So if you are a fan of them, I would appreciate, of course, your feedback. As always, be respectful, be kind to others, do not fight. Please just be respectful. And of course, I always read you, and like I told you, if you are uncomfortable with this subject, just don't watch it. So yes, guys, and please, this is not an opening of request for other potential couples. This, I did this reading just like I did guys and Jenny's, because it was confirmed, quote unquote, it was confirmed back then that they were dating. And in this case of Taeyeon and Baekhyun, we know that it happened the same. So I do these kinds of readings for couples that had been confirmed somehow, or that had been strong evidence of them hanging out with each other. So I don't do this for just people that just happen to be in the same space or work in the same space. I do not ship people. I do not encourage shipping. Like, do you do whatever it feels for you. If you feel okay shipping, it's okay. I'm not judging, but I'm just saying I do not pull tarot cards for shipping. So yes, guys, this is all I have to say. Have a great weekend ahead, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.